Most people think a high-capacity handgun is enough for bear country. That fairy tale ends the moment 700 pounds of angry grizzly breaks the tree line at 35 miles per hour. If you are betting your life on a slide-out tray or a subcompact, you are bringing a toothpick to a chainsaw fight. To stop a real-world charge, you need the kind of hydraulic shutdown that only comes from a long gun slinging heavy lead.
Nice shot!
Let's be real. When the adrenaline hits and your fine motor skills evaporate, you need a rig that handles like an extension of your own arms and hits like a freight train. Moving on to rank 7, we have the Smith & Wesson model 1854. Now look, while the heavy hitters usually grab the headlines, this stainless steel beauty feeds on .44 Magnum. It is a modern take on the lever action that brings a lot of utility to the backcountry. The 19.25-inch barrel gives those rounds a serious velocity boost compared to a sidearm, pushing terminal performance to around 1,600 foot-pounds of energy. That is more than enough to handle a black bear or keep a disgruntled mountain lion off your back. Under the hood, this rifle features a cold hammer-forged barrel. This manufacturing process creates a denser, more uniform steel structure compared to standard button rifling. In the field, that translates to better heat dissipation and improved accuracy when you are sending those heavy +P loads downrange. It also sports an M-LOK synthetic forend, which is a massive upgrade because it lets you bolt a high-lumen light directly to the gun for those sketchy midnight walks to the outhouse. Here is the deal breaker. The aesthetics and build finish on this one can be a bit of a letdown. While it is stainless, some guys have noticed that the finish is a bit of a scratch magnet, and it can start looking beat up if you just look at it wrong. It lacks that heirloom feel you get with more traditional rifles, feeling a bit more like a tool and less like a piece of craftsmanship. Honestly though, if you want a companion for your wheel gun, this sets you back about $1,200. It is a lightweight 6.8-pound rig that swings fast and hits hard. The 9+1 capacity is a huge plus, giving you plenty of follow-up shots if the first one does not do the trick. It is a solid entry point for anyone who wants a reliable woods gun without the shoulder-bruising recoil of the bigger calibers. Stepping up the game to number 6, we have the Mossberg 990 SPX Magpul. When you are talking close quarters defense, a semi-automatic scattergun is an absolute wall of lead. This tactical hunting hybrid slings 12-gauge downrange with serious authority. It runs a tight 18.5-inch barrel and tips the scales at 7.75 pounds, making it a highly compact powerhouse for deep timber. Under the hood, the lifeblood of this rig is the refined gas piston system. Instead of relying entirely on your shoulder to soak up the blast, it bleeds off expanding high-pressure gases from the fired shell through small ports in the barrel, driving a piston rearward to cleanly eject the hull. This mechanical process absorbs a massive chunk of the kinetic energy, turning the savage kick of a 3-inch Magnum slug into a manageable heavy shove. Look, here is the deal breaker on this one. The factory safety ergonomics leave a lot to be desired, feeling as stiff as a frozen plank out of the box and requiring heavy thumb pressure until it finally breaks in. But once you are on the trigger, it snaps clean, and the gun cycles so fast you can put all 7+1 rounds on target before the first empty hull hits the dirt. Sound off below if you trust a gas gun when the weather turns freezing and wet. Optic ready right from the factory. The receiver is cut to direct mount a micro red dot so you can keep both eyes open under stress. That is a massive advantage when the light is fading and you need to neutralize a fast-moving threat instantly. The damage to your wallet is 1,309, but for a rig decked out with MLOK slots for your weapon light, it brings undeniable terminal performance to the fight. Now we get serious at number 5 with the Browning BLR Lightweight 81 Stainless Takedown. Listen, if you need long-range magnum power in a highly packable package, this rig eats 300 Winchester Magnum for breakfast. It tips the scales right around 7 pounds, making it a dream to haul up steep mountain ridges, where every extra ounce feels like hauling a cinder block. Unique among traditional lever guns, this rifle brings true bolt-action ballistics directly to the fight. It utilizes a precision rack and pinion gear system driven by the lever loop, which turns and positively locks a robust multi-lug bolt directly into the steel barrel extension. This mechanical lockup handles high-pressure chamberings effortlessly, allowing you to feed aerodynamically superior pointed bullets from a 4+1 capacity detachable box magazine, instead of relying on flat-nosed brush loads. Looking at the flaws, and there is always a catch, the proprietary spare magazines will absolutely drain your wallet, assuming you can even find them in stock. The trigger assembly cleverly drops down with the lever to prevent crushing your fingers when wearing heavy winter gloves, but the actual pull breaks like snapping a thick piece of chalk. When you finally send it down range, the kinetic energy from those heavy hunting loads punches like an angry heavyweight brawler, so you better lean into the stock. For guys trekking deep into brown bear territory, the ability to snap this rifle in half and stash it completely inside your pack is an absolute game changer. Street price is roughly $1,400, securing you a top-tier survival tool built for brutal elements. This modular platform is undeniably solid, but wait until you see the absolute monster waiting at number 1. You will not believe what takes the throne. Pushing into the heavyweights at number 4 is the Benelli M4 EXT. Look, when the United States Marine Corps trusts a platform for combat, you know it can handle a pissed-off grizzly. This tactical masterpiece feeds on 12-gauge magnums with absolute, undeniable authority. Tipping the scales at 7.8 pounds, it is not the lightest rig in the woods, but that heft is exactly what you want when you are dumping heavy payloads. Under the hood, this Italian beast runs the auto-regulating gas-operated system. Unlike traditional long-stroke designs, it utilizes dual short-stroke gas pistons positioned directly just ahead of the chamber to punch the bolt carrier group rearward. This mechanical layout drives hot, high-pressure gases directly into the pistons, blowing out carbon and making the gun famously self-cleaning, even in the grimiest environments, pulling the trigger rolls like a heavy glass marble before dropping the hammer. When you let off those massive 3-inch slugs, the recoil shoves like a charging defensive lineman, but the gas system eats up enough kinetic energy to keep you firmly on target. But here is the catch. It can be a bit of a diva with weak ammo. While it devours high brass bear loads all day, it gets notoriously sluggish and prone to stovepipes if you try feeding it cheap, low-recoil target shells. Built with a titanium Cerakote finish called H2O, this rig simply laughs off saltwater corrosion if you are hiking coastal Alaska. The adjustable 5-position stock lets you dial in the perfect length of pull, even when you are bundled up in heavy winter gear. Street price is roughly $2,800, making it a serious investment for serious wilderness survival. Entering the elite tier at number 3, we have the Ruger Guide Gun. This absolute tank of a bolt-action slings .375 Ruger downrange with devastating terminal performance. It is built from the ground up to survive the worst weather Mother Nature can throw at you. Professional guides rely on this uncompromising sentinel when a massive brown bear decides you are standing in the wrong spot. Under the hood, this rifle runs the legendary Hawkeye M77 action, featuring a non-rotating, Mauser-type controlled round feed extractor. Instead of just blindly pushing the cartridge into the chamber, that massive steel claw grabs the rim of the brass the second it leaves the internal box magazine. It holds the round in an absolute death grip until ejection. This mechanical lock prevents double feeds and guarantees extraction, even if you are racking the bolt upside down while scrambling backward in the dirt. Tipping the scales at 8.12 pounds unloaded, it carries like a heavy iron pipe on a long hike. That's the deal breaker for the ultralight backpacker crowd. By the time you add a scope and a sling, hauling this rig will absolutely test your shoulder straps on a steep alpine grade. But when you finally drop the hammer, the factory LC6 trigger snaps like a frozen icicle, sending those massive soft points into the target kicks like a rogue wave crashing into your shoulder. Though the included radial port muzzle brake tames the muzzle rise beautifully. The Green Mountain laminate stock completely ignores warping and freezing wet conditions, keeping your zero rock solid when a standard wood stock would swell and shift. You get a 20-inch barrel that maximizes velocity while remaining compact enough to swing fast in the brush. It sets you back roughly 1,200 at the gun counter. With a 3-round internal capacity, it demands that you make every single shot count. Closer to the crown at number 2 is the Beretta A300 Ultima Patrol Raider. Look, when you are face to face with a massive predator inside 30 yards, pump actions can get you killed if you short stroke the slide under extreme stress. This semi-automatic tactical shotgun eats 12-gauge slugs like absolute candy, taking the human error completely out of the equation. Tipping the scales right around 7.1 pounds, it swings incredibly fast through dense brush, thanks to a highly compact 13-inch length pull. Under the hood, this Italian powerhouse relies on the legendary B-Link gas operating system. Instead of traditional clunky dual-action bars, it utilizes a specialized exhaust valve, perfectly tuned to a self-cleaning, short-stroke piston that directly drives a rotating bolt head. This precise mechanical layout guarantees rapid, consistent cycling without the violent bolt bounce found in older designs, completely eliminating the chance of a malfunction when you are dumping the magazine. Stepping up to the firing line, the factory trigger snaps cleanly like breaking a fresh carrot. When you let those massive 1-ounce slugs fly, the recoil shoves backward like a heavy oak door swinging shut, kept entirely manageable by the gas system. But here is the deal breaker. The factory finish on the receiver leaves a lot to be desired. The coating is a notorious scratch magnet, and the finish practically wears off if you just look at it wrong, which is frustrating for a rig built for harsh environments. Boasting oversized controls like a massive bolt handle and an extended bolt release, you can run this weapon flawlessly even while wearing thick winter gloves. It features a 19.1-inch barrel topped with a Picatinny rail, making it perfectly optic, ready to co-witness a red dot sight. Expect to drop roughly 1,100 for this level of reliability. It delivers a devastating volume of fire when fractions of a second mean the difference between walking out of the woods or getting carried out. Entering the number 1 spot, the undisputed king of bear country is the Marlin 1895 Trapper Magpul. Listen, It gives you the fast handling and maneuverability of the Smith & Wesson at number 7, but with the undeniable, bone-crushing terminal performance of the Ruger guide gun at number 3. When you are staring down a massive grizzly, this 45-70 government lever action is the absolute pinnacle of wilderness survival. Under the hood, this rifle features a cold hammer, forged stainless steel barrel with deep-cut rifling designed specifically for heavy projectiles. That internal geometry rigidly engages the bearing surface of heavy hard-cast lead bullets, imparting a rapid gyroscopic spin so they do not tumble upon impact, but instead drive deep in a straight line through thick bone and heavy muscle to neutralize the threat instantly. The factory trigger snaps like a dry wishbone. When you send those massive +P loads downrange, the recoil hits like a swinging sledgehammer, but the threaded barrel gives you exactly 16.17 inches to mount a proper muzzle brake and tame that beast. Tipping the scales at 7.25 pounds, the Magpul ELG furniture is a massive upgrade over traditional wood. It features an integrated ammunition quiver built right into the polymer stock, solving the notorious slow reload problem of lever guns by keeping 6 extra rounds instantly accessible. Boasting a 5+1 capacity and weather-defying stainless construction, it sets you back about $1,649. The throne definitively belongs to Marlin. There you have it, the top 7 rigs that will actually keep you alive when a massive apex predator decides you are on the menu. Look, your gear is only as good as your training. You can carry the absolute heaviest hand cannon into the woods, but if you cannot run the action or clear a jam under extreme physiological stress, it is just an expensive walking stick. Get out to the flat range, put in the grueling reps with heavy loads, and stress test your equipment before you ever step foot in the deep timber. If you want the raw truth without the fluff, lock it in right here.